It's the next to the last week. All your hard work is coming to a fine point right now, and I have faith in you. Hey everybody, welcome to week 14. Doesn't seem like it's been that long, huh? But here we are. We don't have a whole lot to talk about from last week. It was mostly working on your oral briefings and your presentation, and this week will be a lot more of the same. I want to, though, touch base with you to hit a few points. First off, the writing use permission form, which will appear on screen now. Got it? Whenever we do sample student writing in this class, we use stuff from actual students. I find out that students do the best job of simulating what a student would do. Go figure. But whenever I've done a student example from the textbook, they never look anything like the students I get. And this is one of the things, looking at actual student work, that most students tell me is one of the more valuable things we do in this class. In order for that to be the most valuable for you, though, and for the future students, it really helps if I have a good array of sample student writing to choose from. And that's what the writing use permission form is for. I need your permission to use your writing for future classes. I keep everything completely anonymous. I change all the information on it that you can possibly trace to anyone. I put it in a new folder. I change the permissions on the document. I make everything completely and utterly anonymous. And it's only used for classroom purposes. People always say, I would like better sample student writing, and I'd love to give it to you, and to the next students too, but I really need writing from a bunch of people to choose the best ones. Giving me permission to use your writing doesn't affect your grades in one way or another. It's only to help the students who come after you. So I really hope you give me permission to use your writing. The writing use permission form is in this week's folder, it's in next week's folder, and it's in course documents. Sign it, scan it, or take a picture or something and email it to me at mike.dubose@utoledo.edu. And if you do that, that would be wonderful. Future students will thank you. As I said, there's a lot of things I'd really love to switch up on the sample student writing. I just haven't gotten enough permission forms lately. So if I can get permission from you to use the sample writing, that's going to make everything better for future students. So think of them. Think of the future. Secondly, for the online briefing, you should have it uploaded by Monday. That's not the end of it, though. What I want you to do is to spend some time this week looking at everybody's. One of the principles of this class is when we do the peer review sessions, you get out of that what you put into it. If you spend a lot of time going over people's work, that's informative to your own writing. Hopefully people get decent stuff from the feedback, but if not, you get a lot if you put in some effort when you look at everyone's papers. And the online briefing is this way too. You've done the peer review session on the formal recommendation report, but the online briefing is kind of a draft of your essay, a draft of your report as well. You have to take the highlights, the best parts of it, and condense it into the oral briefing, the online briefing, and hopefully you all did that. Now what I want you to do is to look at everybody's. See what people did well, see what people need help on. And I want you to ask everybody a question. Make your questions something that someone in the board that you're presenting to would ask. Make your question something which might help the student revise their report, fill some hole, answer something they haven't answered already. And by doing this, you're going to give a lot of good help to your fellow students, but it's also going to be the kind of mindset you need to apply to your own writing. And when you look at your online briefing, hopefully you'll get some decent feedback from people, but since you've been asking questions from people, and looking to see how a board of directors would respond to everyone else's stuff, you should be very primed to do that to your own work too. So you will watch everybody's online briefing and ask everybody one question at least, and have that done by Wednesday at noon. Then I want you to read all of the questions people have asked of you and answer any of them by noon on Friday. You'll get 10 points for turning in your online briefing on time. You'll get 10 points for asking everybody a question. And you'll get 5 points for answering any questions asked of you. That's the 25 points that's in the major assignment sheet in the syllabus for the online briefing. Then use all the feedback you got and use all the thought you put into answering those questions to make your formal recommendation report better. This is the last thing you're going to turn in, so you might as well make it as good as humanly possible. Other than that, we have a video on cognitive biases this week, and it's a pretty interesting one. Cognitive biases are where our mind just doesn't think appropriately for the world that's out, and evolutionary biologists have speculated on reasons why. My psychiatrist told me that he thinks our brain has basically evolved because human society has sped up so much. He thinks our brains have basically evolved to the hunter-gatherer phase, but we're not living in a hunter-gatherer world. So this is sometimes why our brains don't work as well as they should, or as logically as they should. So it's an interesting thought, and it's when you get into outlining the ways our brain doesn't work as well as it should, then you're going to really start to see how you can best appeal to people using proper logic and knowing where they're probably going to go wrong. So I think that's important too. So get your writing use permission form in. Watch everybody's video and ask questions. Answer any questions asked of you. Revise your formal recommendation report. And watch the cognitive biases video. We're almost through it. I have faith in you. If you're having any problems, please let me know. Contact me via Remind. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But we're close to the end now. You can do it. I will see you next week. Breathe deep. Work hard. We're almost done. Bye, y'all.